These Parker House rolls are pillowy soft and super delicious with a hint of sweetness and with that fluffy interior. These rolls are best recognized by their beautiful folded shape and with that wonderful buttery flavor, and they are perfect for any special occasions and for holidays. And making these rolls is so simple and easy. We don't require any special equipments or hard to find ingredient to make these rolls. And in this video, we are going to make them in a comparatively faster method. So let's see how to make a soft and fluffy Parker House rolls in 5 simple steps. To make these rolls, we'll need only 7 basic ingredients: some flour, some milk, egg and butter to enrich our dough, and some yeast as a leavening agent, and some sugar and salt to add taste. So as the first step, let's start by preparing the dough. Into a bowl, add in milk, which is not too cold, not too hot, but just slightly warm, because yeast always need a sweet and warm environment to bloom up. And then add in the sugar, salt, yeast, and mix them all together until all our ingredients get dissolved. And now add in 1 egg and combine. And then I'm adding butter, which is soft, so that it will be easy for us to blend them all together. And now let's add in flour into this. We can use all-purpose flour or bread flour or strong whole wheat flour to make these rolls. And bread flour contain more protein, and so it can give more light and airy rolls. But here I've used all-purpose flour, which is more conveniently available for most of us. And combine everything together to form a shaggy mass of dough. And now let's transfer this dough onto a clean work surface. And now you can see our dough is ripping off while we stretch the dough. So it's because the gluten strands are not developed. So we are going to develop the gluten by kneading the dough. So if you are using a stand mixer, then it will be easy for you to knead the dough. But if you are kneading the dough by hand, you may find the dough to be a little sticky in the beginning, and at this stage we may get tempted to add more flour into this, but don't do that. Just continue to knead for 3 to 4 minutes and you will see the texture of our dough changes and it will not stick to your hands. And now I'm adding 1 more tablespoon of water. It's easy to develop the gluten if our dough is well hydrated. Adding water will loosen the protein structure and which will help to form long elastic gluten strands. Though it seems difficult to knead the dough in the beginning, that extra moisture will get absorbed into the dough in a minute of kneading and our dough will become more soft and smooth. So after kneading the dough for 10 to 12 minutes, our dough should be soft and supple, and we can check if our dough is well kneaded by using this window pane test. If we are able to stretch the dough into a thin membrane, it shows that our dough has enough gluten strength and our dough can make soft and fluffy rolls. If we are using bread flour, then it will be so much easier to attain this stage, But if we are using all-purpose flour, it may take longer to get to this stage. So now our bread dough is ready for the next step. So we are going to cover them with a ball and keep it on the counter for 30 minutes. And this resting will give some time for the tensive elastic gluten fibers to relax, and this will prevent any tendency of the dough to rebound back while we roll the dough. So after 30 minutes of resting, our dough is now ready for the third step. So let's divide and shape the dough. So place the dough onto a lightly floured work surface, and we need to roll the dough into a rectangle of approximately 1 centimeter thickness. And now we need to divide it into equal pieces. And before dividing the dough, brush the top of the sheet with some melted butter or with some softened butter. And here I'm dividing it into 15 equal pieces. We don't need to stress over this step to divide them exactly the similar size, but the more closer they are in similar size, the more evenly they will rise and bake in the oven. And if you find it difficult to shape it into a rectangle, we can shape them using a cookie cutter as well, and the method is shown towards the end of the video. So if you prefer that way, you can check it out. And now fold each of those small rectangles onto itself, leaving about 1 centimeter space. And then place it onto a parchment lined baking tray with the smooth surface on top. This will help the rolls not to get unfold during the baking process. Now all our rolls are ready for the proofing. So wrap it with a plastic film and let the dough sit and rise in a warm environment for 60 to 70 minutes or until they puff up nicely. So it's been 65 minutes and all our rolls are ready to go into the oven. So bake at 350 Fahrenheit preheated oven for 15 to 18 minutes or until they turn golden brown on top. And after baking, we'll get those beautiful golden brown rolls, and let's brush the top of the rolls with some butter while they are still warm, which will make them softer and looks even more beautiful. And these rolls are light as cotton and they are super delicious with that soft and fluffy interior. And if you like, you can sprinkle the top with some flaky sea salt and serve them. And they are best to serve while they are fresh and warm out of the oven. And another good thing is that we can adapt this recipe to our convenience. So if you want to make them ahead of time, we can make the dough and shape them and place them on a baking tray. And before proofing, place this baking tray onto the refrigerator. And on the baking day, you can just take it out and place it on the counter for 2 hours or until they puff up nicely, and then bake at 350 Fahrenheit preheated oven for 15 to 18 minutes. And we can enjoy oven fresh homemade rolls with no effort on the baking day. And if you want to make more rolls, you can double this recipe by doubling the ingredients, including the yeast. And if you want to freeze any leftover rolls, they freeze well as well. I've tested this recipe in different ways, and all those details about making them ahead of time, and also about storing the rolls and reheating them to make soft rolls, are given in the blog post. Hope reading the blog post will help you, and I've given the link to the blog post in the description box below and in the iCard above. And I hope you like this recipe, and I hope you will make this at home, and I hope your whole family will love it. And if you like this video, please give your valuable thumbs up, and please don't forget to share this recipe with your friends and family. And thank you so much for your love and support, and thanks for watching this video. See you next time.